I'm eating one of Zella's oatmeal cookies.
You're recording.
I'm recording?
You're recording. Alright, this is the movie. The camera is recording it. I think that our point here is simply that we've now been using frequencies for healing since
97, 98.
97, 98, with varying degrees of success. And at first we were not very successful. I can't tell you how many times we've attempted to destroy diphtheria, and somehow it always comes back. The key, I suspect, has a lot to do with the bacteria, virus, etc. Once it knows that we're interested in it, can just change its frequency to something else and it's immune. Because it does take time for the body to figure out what its new frequency is. And by that time, well, the YouTube I prepared for this, and maybe this should just be the discussion. Anyway, you commented about this also. What comment would you make in this regard?
Well, what we used to do is determine which bacteria we were going to go after, or which organism. And we had a whole list in categories and with frequencies. So we'd go through the little book and earmark the one we wanted to get rid of. And just by doing that, we're letting it know that it's a target. And as soon as it is a target, it starts changing its frequency.
Right.
And we didn't know that it could do that until we read the book by Bruce Lipton, the brilliant MD researcher who taught molecular biology in medical school, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he published the book Biology of Belief. And we studied that and said, oh my gosh, we've been broadcasting our intentions for all this time and allowed our little enemy to simply transform itself into something else, which it can do. It can change its frequency like that.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to Bruce Lipton's research, we know that now, that every cell in the body is basically conscious and listening, and that with our self-talk we can change our bodies.
So in particular, as soon as we talk about trying to do something, trying to eliminate some biological issue, we warn the biology, and it hides in another frequency, and it's safe. And I've failed in my attempt to eliminate it.
Yeah.
What about toxins?
Well, you are the one who said, toxin, do you want to be in my body? And the toxin says, no, I feel trapped. And
right.
then you ask the question, would you help me get you out? Would you give me a frequency that will put you in such an excited state that my body can eliminate you safely? And it is always willing to do that.
So far they've always... Now, we do have 4 generators. I suspect there have been several times where I needed more than 1 frequency, but I've never needed more than 4.
Well, that's good.
And, well, we're still alive and apparently a little healthier now than we were when we started this game.
We started this game around 2010 when we came to Bellingham, Washington.
Mm-hmm. And I was in terrible shape about that point.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
But you were still listening, and you were still had good reasoning.
Yeah.
And you were able to build those little generators.
Yeah.
Because your engineering skill was still there.
They work like a charm.
Yes. Yes. And you could still do that. So that's been a great boon.
Yeah, it's been a real help. The situation with the toxins is very interesting. If I understand it right, none of the toxins wants to actually be in this body or yours. They feel totally trapped there because whatever chemistry they would normally do, the body is doing everything possible to prevent. It's like being in prison, being told whatever it is you want to do, you can't. At the same time, the parasites which depend on the toxin, because after all, without the toxins, the body is designed to eliminate them and will. It's only in the presence of those toxins that the parasite can stay in the body. The parasite needs the toxin. The toxin wants to escape from the body. The body cannot get rid of the toxin without some help, and that's where the generators come in, because if the toxin will tell me the frequency to use, I can use it. The body wants to get rid of the toxin, and guess what? It can't, because it's literally swamped, covered by parasites, trying their absolute best to make it impossible for the body to get rid of it. Where's the key? The toxin can give you a frequency that would put it in an excited state.
Why does it need an excited state to get out?
The simplest example I can come up with is the metallic mercury, raw mercury, which of course is a terrible poison, should never be in the body, and it's one primary element in amalgam tooth fillings, which were put in my mouth as a child. Well, I went into all kinds of problems as a result of that, but took a long time. The mercury eats holes in the myelin sheath of the nerves, and in my body it turned into palsy, all kinds of problems with memory, and
your shaky hands. And
terribly shaky hands. Yes, exactly. And it's getting quite a bit better. For me, I just asked the mercury, do you want to be in my body? The answer came back a very anguished no. I said, you give me a frequency, I'll put it into one of my generators and see if that will help. Well, it seems to have helped. I think I've gotten rid of a lot of different miscellaneous toxins. But here's the key. All I know is I sit down there and I hear a frequency as I'm going to work. I don't know who gave it to me. I don't know what the frequency is. I don't know what it's for. I don't know what bacteria or viruses are the targets of it. I don't know any of that information hidden from me. And I don't ask for it. So any biological object in my head has no information about that because I don't have any of that information. It's very simple. As a result, you see, the key, if you have a toxin in your body doesn't know how to get rid of it. It requires biology to do that, or chemistry, or something special. If the toxin itself can look and say, look, you put me in an excited state for an hour or two, and I will turn into something totally different for a short time, safe, white blood cells can pick me up, carry me out, perfectly safe, and during that hour, while I'm in the excited state, the chemistry is totally different. The things in my body, the bugs and all, don't recognize me as this toxin anymore. I'm not. As a result, it's a completely different game. And by the time the bugs figure it all out, I'm gone. Over and over again with different toxins, this has worked for us. But the key has been we make very sure all we know is it's time for a frequency and what the numbers are. We don't know anything else about it, and we make that a point.
Yeah, we never look in our book and see what is it that we're doing. What are we targeting?
Right. So in a way, what we're doing with the toxins is declaring independence of the biology that has always trapped it in the body. Now, with the toxin itself to help us, we can be independent of that trap. We can walk away from it.
Now, are there other ways of flushing a toxin out of the body, like doing a water fast or doing the master cleanse?
There must be, and I'm sure they all work to some extent. Look, if there was no problem there, everyone would be living past 100. There would be no cancer in old age, or hell, middle age. Look, when you go back to the age of your mother, your grandmother, nobody ever got cancer.
No.
It didn't exist. The fact that it exists now says that the chemicals that are out there are poisonous. They get into our bloodstream. And they produce chemistry that isn't supposed to be there. What I'm suggesting is the methods we're now using aren't working. We need to produce a world in which cancer is no longer an issue, despite the presence of the cancers. And that's what this is about.
Well, you kind of changed the subject here.
I did. Where do you want to go back to?
How to get rid of the toxins. Looks to me like our method with the secrecy and the frequencies we are throwing at our bodies that are very, very, very fast, have no sound. We're actually doing sound healing without sound.
Yeah. Of course, it's not in the audible range. It's way up in the megahertz range.
Right. That's what's working.
Yeah.
Now, when Robert O. Becker did his research at the Veterans Hospital in Bethesda, Maryland, he was using very low frequencies to heal the bones of his patients.
Right.
And they worked.
Yeah. We've actually done some work with acoustic frequencies also.
Yeah. That's John Bolyer's work from Bellevue Hospital in New York.
Yes.
and it's very it has been very helpful, I think, in calming down the nervous system. You know that song we sing in church, Deep Peace?
Yes.
The only notes I sing in that is C and G. This is the
talk about balancing you.
Perfect fit. Always, I am the G,
yeah.
and someone else has the
C.
And between the two of us, we're creating the perfect fit. And it's in that song, and the whole audience, when we were singing on an interfaith concert on last Sunday, the whole audience was calmed down and very quiet, and they loved it. and so I know I'm the G in the perfect fit. And I keep singing G. I don't know who had the C, but I had C and G over and over again in the song, going from C to G. And I was pretty calm, I must say. I don't know what deep note. You had a deep note behind me, maybe.
We were doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I did some of the lowest bass notes I've ever sung. I swear they must have come straight out of my ears.
They came out of your gut.
Right.
Very deep sound.
Yeah.
And I did the G on top of it.
Yeah.
You must have had the low C.
I did. Really.
Yeah. Aww. And I went E, G.
Okay, where are we going with this? Are we finished, or is there more? Are there other subjects?
Well, you were talking about acoustic sound, and it is very healing to do acoustic healing, and we're doing it with your computer, and I like that a lot when you do the C and G.
Mm-hmm.
And John Brillieu describes in his book Sound Healing how to do that, and you do it on your computer.
Yeah.
He does it with tuning forks.
Yes. So that's another possibility, and it's real.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll cut off the recording now, unless there's something else to say. Is there?
Well, we mentioned sound healing, which is audible.
Yeah.
Our healing is not audible.
Right.
And people can walk into this room and have no idea what's going on with your broadcasting.
That's right.
Below sound.
The signals are coming out. They are not offensive. They are not even detectable. They're very low in level. But they are detectable if they are exactly the frequency your cells need to stay alive, because they always run at a very low level, and so they detect it. The result is that if you can find the right frequency and play it in the room, even as a low level, the cells that require that frequency for their internal management can no longer do the management. They're getting it constantly. They can't receive anymore.
You mean the parasites?
The cells die. They can no longer be alive. And this is simply the method we use.
So we drink a lot of water.
Yeah, we need that too.
We drink a lot of water to flush ourselves out.
Yeah.
And one of the things you had not mentioned, Richard, is that you actually are in stage 4 kidney disease.
Yeah.
I have stage 3 kidney disease, and I drink a lot of water. I was told to do that. So we both are careful to make sure we flush our bodies all the time. I drink 1 cup of coffee a day. I didn't offer you any this morning. If you want some, I can still make it. It's too late now.
I need to get some water.
Yeah. Now you have a restriction on water. I don't. I'm told to drink 2 quarts. You are told to drink 1 quart. But you also have dialysis, which draws your water out of your body, and it's kind of hard on you. So you have to keep flushing your body during the day and drinking carefully whatever allotment you have. I just keep sipping on water all day long. Little sips, half a glass at a time.
Yeah.
And it keeps me pretty well.
I need to do it too. I need to be more consistent about it. Okay.
And then we want to flush out the dead cells.
Well, that's the water.
Yeah, that's why we need the water. And we hardly ever drink caffeinated stuff. Maybe a cup of green tea. Or 1/2 cup of coffee in the morning. Fairly strong coffee for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually recommended to me by my primary care physician.
Drink a little coffee.
Drink a little coffee. Okay, then I have nothing more else to
Thanks.
contribute.